All right, I believe I've hit all the buttons right. We're back. Welcome back. This is still day one of the Archon Vault Tour at PAX Unplugged. I am CoDameron, and this is a BDQ live stream. We are 3 o'clock is when the round is supposed to start. We're gonna have rounds. Sydney, right?
Yes.
I have Sydney here from our round 3 game, which was just a phenomenal game. Hi, Sydney.
Hi, guys.
I wanted to talk to you about this game, but then my internet died and everything happened, but you're here now.
Yay.
Yeah, show me this list. This is the one you ran, right?
Yes, this is the one that I played with.
So tell me, before I start influencing your ideas, tell me about that game from your point of view.
So it was super fun. I've so far only played against Coda decks, and this deck does really well against Coda.
Yeah.
It's I was really afraid of her Sanctum, but because I had Chican out and it was warded, she was afraid to call Sanctum, so I think that ended up in my benefit.
How much table talk was there about the Quinkin?
A ton. There was actually, like, we literally table talked the whole time. I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear it.
No, that's part of the fun.
Thank you, whoever it was. Somebody listening or watching right now called out the Officer Fran thing, and so
I caught Fran.
Thank you. So they ended up coming over and telling us about Fran. But after that, we table talked 100% of the time because we wanted to make sure we both knew what was going on.
I was calling out your. I mean, if you guys, when you go back and watch this game, because it was a great game.
Thank you.
I was really impressed with your guys' just professionalism and play in general.
Thank
you. You were very clear about I'm going to do. You were even with the Calvin. You were saying I'm going to do this reaction, and then I'm going to do this other reaction.
Yes.
And you did them in order. It was super well done. You play on the Crucible?
I do not play on the Crucible. I actually, my husband plays, so we get all the plays that we want in at home at night with each other.
Awesome. Oh, that's fantastic.
And we also, our local game store is amazing, so we play there every Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, so this, there were a lot of, my comment was that the game was played very well.
Thank you.
And that I don't think I saw any misplays, I saw playstyle choices.
Sure.
I think that it was a really good demonstration of what happens when you put a Worlds Collide deck up against a Coda deck.
Absolutely.
Your board worked.
This deck is insane, though. It has 9 creatures in Star Alliance, 9 creatures in Logos, and 3 creatures in Shadows.
Wow.
So, her playing the Speed Sigil, this is the second deck in this tournament. In this Vault Tour, I played against a Speed Sigil. Every single turn, I was able to put out a creature, and then the turn she decided to pull it back to her hand, I'm like, I have to put Customs Office out now. Like, I can't.
And you did.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. The other thing of note is that I don't think her deck was at all ready to deal with you. She had no wide board presence. She didn't play Sanctum for like 8 turns.
I know, and I don't know what her hand looked like because I was on the other side of the board. But like the fact that she held it because of my Chican, I felt really bad. But that's what she was doing.
All of her removal was not good against Star Alliance.
Right. The get rid of power 5 or higher, like nothing.
Oh, that was bad. I think she had a Spirit's Way, which was bad. She had the lights out for these 2.
I know.
And then you sigiled on your engineer for the 2 back.
Oh my god. I felt so bad when she did it because I was like, do you see that? And I'm like, I wanted to tell her because at my local game store, I would like totally bring it up and like we like to help each other get better at our local game store. And so, but here I was like, I can't tell her.
You were getting so much value out of your deck.
Calvin, yeah.
This deck was very efficient.
Thank you.
I was very impressed with the game overall. Tell me about Vellum and Hyde. Are these guys all they're cracked up to be?
So, in other decks I've had them in, absolutely not. But because in this deck, Eddie and archiving, the amount of archiving the logos is crazy. But also with the Speed Sigils, at least, being able to put things out there and archive or draw right away is just amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited for when you go back and watch this game.
Thank you.
It was a phenomenal game, and also just played very well. Like,
thank you.
Like the game was a pleasure to watch, a pleasure to cast, and even though it went to time, I think you had that game.
I felt obligated. So I know I could have reaped out with my Star Alliance cards. I felt obligated to take her off key.
Yes.
Personally.
That feels good.
Yes, exactly. I don't feel good going to time and winning because of the time rules. And so once I knew I had it in my hand, I had to play it that way.
She had the miasma, but then nothing.
Right. But also, like, there has to be a going to time rules at all.
There's a turn that you don't know about.
Okay.
When you watch this back, I made what I thought was a pro call, and it was towards the end of the game. You were both at 2 keys, and she goes to 6, and you go Candle Unit, action taker,
yeah.
and and then you play like other 5 or so cards.
Oh,
it was phenomenal.
I have to go.
When you watch it back, if she had done the seed at that turn
Oh.
for Ghostly Hand.
Gotcha.
Or even Hidden Stash.
Yep.
I think you lose that game. Or you
Good to
might,
know.
or you might, like you might not have had as good of a play.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were.
I'm gonna go play.
You played phenomenal. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go find out what's next. Good. Well, let's see how it goes. Yeah. All right, we're still setting up. Everyone's setting up. What is that, Spanish? That might be Italian? I'm not quite sure. This is Dominic. There's a line over that O. Strange name. Not a big fan of that one. All right, good luck to Dominic and George, and we get this back to them. All right, so we have Dominic on a Worlds Collide deck, and we have George at an Italian Coda deck. If anyone's in the chat, let me know some fun things about the deck. So you can see that George has given Dominic his phone so that Dominic can see all the cards in the right language, which is very, very nice of him. I see Dis Mars Untamed, and over here I see other houses. Logos, maybe? I don't know. So yeah, we've seen a couple of Worlds Collide Coda matches, and I think the Worlds Collide deck has taken one of them? Two of them? One of them. Round 4 now. We're in round 4. Very good. Very, very good. Everything seems to be humming along correctly. Yeah. All right, round 4 just begun. Good luck to Dominic and George. So, we'll figure out which houses are in Dominic's deck very shortly. But I want to see how fast. So Mars Untamed Disc does not sound like a bursty kind of deck to me, does it? This sounds like it's going to be a much more grindy game, or at least George is going to play something more control-y. Ooh, maybe we'll get to see a Witch of the Eye lock. I don't know. It is an Italian, so George doesn't seem like an Italian guy, at least not a native Italian speaker. So it seems as though he got this deck somewhere online for some strong reason. I bet it has... Actually, let me... I will look up this deck. Search deck. Magda, Triple Hunting Witch, Double Phosphorus Stars, Compod, Zookeeper, Arise. There's things in here. There's a Seed. No Key Charge. There's a Key Abduction. I don't know. No. Von Sock. Dominic didn't scan George's deck. George had the deck pulled up on his phone, handed it over to Dominic. Because all the things on the Archon card aren't in English, it says, okay, when you pull it up on the Master Vault, you can see all the words, all of the card text in English. So it's a nice courtesy to have when you go to a tournament, even at your locals, and it's in your deck is in another language. You can show your opponent, okay, this is what's in my deck. You don't have to know Italian to be able to play this game. Who's going first? Dominic? That looks like 7 to me. Huh. So. What am I going to be looking for in this game? I want to see what George's plan is. I don't know how fast he's going to go. He looks a little bit more standard, a little bit more board building. Oh, for what it's worth, both of these players are 2-1. So both these players have lost one game, but if they want to get into top cut, they have to go 5-1. So both players are at risk of being out of the day 2 of this tournament. Maverick Magda, okay. Mavericks are a lot less surprising when you're not in sealed. I know the round has started, but these guys are just, I think did they both take a mulligan? I think they did. Quick note to Patrick on my Discord. Yeah, Yeti has been phenomenal in helping me set up. I got here, they had a table, they let me have like the big, you can see we're on the nice Keyforge table, but with my mats. And Victor is the guy's name. Ooh, I have to do some video configuring. Aha, I fixed it. Because I know how to do that. I hope my first games were this clear. Is that any clearer than earlier? I don't know. Okay, so I didn't look at Hey, can someone pop me let me just do it. I didn't do this for the first games, but you know, I looked at one deck, I should look at the other. Crassosaurus is great, double candle units, triple Tau Vapors. Oh, we are heavy. We have Kirby Mimic Gel. I want to see what Mimic Gel does. I have no idea what that card does. We are heavy into Worlds Collide. So, George, with the turn 2 Hunting Witch dead now. The turn 2 Dust Pixie into Hunting Witch. That's a stunner on Medic Ingram. And I like using Medic Ingram to fight there. Fights into the Hunting Witch, wastes her ward on herself, gets a new one, kills Hunting Witch for no cost, and then Stunner can stun the Dust Pixie. But if you note, Dominic didn't play any other cards. Dominic took a slow turn just to deal with this Hunting Witch, and look. So, there's the Succubus. Is Dominic going to use Medic Ingram to kill the Succubus and stun the Magda? You can't, but you really shouldn't. That Succubus can live for a turn and it's alright. But George does choose to play the Magda to only steal 1, so that's going to lose him an Amber if that doesn't happen perfectly. But here comes that double Tau Vapors. Maybe he'll find the 3rd. I like using Igor first. Igor first to pick up your favorite card, and then using Tau Vapors. Yeah, wow. Look at this Logos house. There's a Logos house here that's meant to get out of the way for the Star Alliance and Saurian houses. We are solidly in Worlds Collide. Interesting. He's not even gonna notice that he's got a reduced hand size, right? He drew the 3rd Tau Vapors. Wow. What house is he archiving? It looks like he's archiving Star Alliance, is that right? Or am I wrong? Let's see here. I missed it. Wow. Yeah, so one thing that we used to notice in early... I would play a Worlds Collide deck because it's new and fun. And I'm here to have some fun. But back to efficiency. Very typically, highly efficient rated decks do better in high-level tournaments. The ability to have that consistency and actually get the cards you want, and also have good cards, but get to your good cards and get out of the way of your bad cards, is very, very strong. I don't know what that is. Worlds Collide. He discarded a card. Did he draw for Succubus? Something wrong? Or discard Wormhole Technician. Doesn't want to play it. Don't know why. Maybe he had to for a card effect. I wasn't paying all that much attention. But, oh, not Life Ward. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't put it on the table. So Dominic did all of this fancy stuff. He drew 6 cards, he Igored, he made no Amber. So he's still at 0 Amber. And George, taking the 2 chains and stunning his 2, his Succubus and his Magda to play Phosphorus Stars. Incredible. We just saw Phosphorus Stars and then a Life Ward. So maybe this Succubus is actually going to be in a little bit of trouble. Maybe these Mars creatures are actually going to take over, because he does have these Zookeeper with John Smith can take out the Medic Ingram if you feel like it, because of the ward. Ooh, Red Alert! So, since George has 4 more creatures than Dominic, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4? Then I believe all of George's creatures take 4 damage. What a good board wipe. Look at us. We are... And then George gives back the 2 Amber for Magda. We are in Worlds Collide. And then Dominic shoots back with the stealth mode. I can't play creatures? Fine. You can't play events. Yep, I'm fine with this. What a good play by Dominic. Staying cool and collected to not lose to this very early Coda board. Yeah, George had a very strong board there, and I didn't see that play coming. I didn't see any of that coming, really. And what's George going to do? He's going to play cards plus board. He's going to play as many cards as he can. I think he discarded Regrowth just to draw more cards. He didn't need the Succubus back or something? Didn't want Magda? I don't know. Ah, that's why you didn't play Wormhole Tech. There you go. You guys are right. Dominic, 1 step ahead of the game, and he's about to have a huge Saurian turn. There's 4 in his hand, plus whatever's in his archive. Wow. Will he play Saurian here? Almost certainly, right? Something, cards plus board? Yeah, here we go. Will he exalt the Shrix? He will. Phalanx Strike to deal 5. Yeah. I mean, sure. Go ahead, Dominic. Threaten check with your with your Senator Shrix. I mean, that's what we do when we're playing AOA, right? But he could just die, right? That giant slop, if he discards... I guess George did play a really bad... It was 3 cards in Untamed. So George wants to just draw more cards and play the right cards. I don't think he'll play that giant slot. He might even not have the card to do... If George needs to not let Senator Shrix spend his Amber, right? That's almost game losing. That's not game losing, but that first key at 6 with 2 on Shrix? Come on, that can't happen. There you go. I'm okay with that. So Medic Ingram is going to stay on the board with her Stunner. And George will get the 2 Amber from Shrix on Hysteria. Dominic will get the Igor back and actually not lose anything, but I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, and as long as that guy was dealt with that turn, that was all that mattered. Yeah, that's a fine play by George. I'm fine with that turn. That's better than any sort of giant slot play I could have seen. Is it time for Dominic to pull his archive? There's 3 Saurian cards in there. I can't quite see what they are, but I'm sure they're good. They gotta be good, right? That's a 7-card turn. He has the Igor. He's just choosing what's the most efficient turn right now. He's under no pressure. Actually, George did put him in check, so he is in check. But there's got to be a way. Yeah, he has the dinosaur that puts +3 on the key cost. So George isn't going to forge here unless Dominic lets him. He might be able to pick the Senator. I don't know. He's not really in danger yet because that Pit Demon could kill it, I guess. But then at that point, you didn't steal with your Pit Demon. Like, I don't think protecting the Senator is the most important thing to do here. I think Dominic just needs to find the most efficient turn possible and throw cards at the board. Huh. I like that Dominic is taking his time to think through his turn here. This is a very important turn to set up your play for like the game going forward. And what's George's game plan here? Like, I don't understand the game plan of George's deck. It seems like he has a lot of good cards in it. And, I mean, a reasonable game plan is play good cards. That can be your whole game plan. You can apparently go 2-1 with it, going to round 4. But, okay, Dominic does go Saurian. I kind of like this play. Dominic is going to make a ton of Amber right now and ask George the question of, can you get me off of the Amber? The whatever, that thing's ideal, right? So that exalts you, and then you can be Senator Shrix already. Okay, so he does tribute for a ton of Amber. So that Shrix has a ton of Amber on him. And then he's going to play the Key Charge, which it adds a bunch and then reduces the cost by the number of Amber on your favorite guy, on all of your guys. So +8, minus a ton. Wow, what a huge play. And he spends it all from Shrix anyway. Did he even spend some from his pool there? Maybe 1 or 2? In that moment, playing Tribute not only was the 6 Amber it normally is, but it was also it was plus another 5 because of the reduction on the quiet on that anvil on Imperial Forge. Man, I have not seen such a good Worlds Collide play yet. That might be the best Worlds Collide play I've seen, except for exiling Crassosaurus, which, hey look, Dominic might do that this game. You take 10 Amber, you give it to them, and now it's basically my Amber again. Wow. What a crazy play. And he's in check. Like, how does George come back from this? He probably is holding some Mars cards after the pretty sad Untamed and Dis turns, but like, can he go Dis and action steal with the Pit Demon? Okay, so he discards the Exile. That's fine. He had to pick it up anyway. He didn't really need that Amber. Squawker to stun. And then Deep Probe. If I'm George, I don't think you're supposed to squawk first. I think you have to Deep Probe first. Calls Saurian? Really, man? Don't call Saurian there. He just played all of his Saurian guys. You know he's holding other cards. Yeah, George calling Saurian there was a huge misplay. Actually, is it? So maybe George wants to sick Dominic on other houses right now, because if, so let's say George calls Logos there. Dominic discards 3 cards. He just goes into his Star Alliance turn and plays all the Star Alliance cards and then draws cards based on the Logos cards he discarded. Maybe George actually played Deep Probe there badly on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to give Dominic the free discards in Saurian, or in a non-Saurian house, so that he would draw Saurian cards? Am I a little deep down the rabbit hole here? I don't know. This Igor is the one that was Hysteria'd back, so this is all George's fault anyway. Yeah, he knew, like, if he wanted to hit an Igor, he knew that he picked it up anyway. This was deliberate on George. He chose Saurian to hit 0 or less. That was on purpose. That was not a misplay. But there's the Igor, not taking Cutthroat Research, probably taking some other card. That was good. Twin Bolt, okay. Hit the Candle unit for 1, fine with me. Just play your cards. Mimic Gel. What's he gonna mimic? Ah, what a crazy card. I love this card. I'm happy it's in the game. It has so many impacts on the board. What could it copy? He's gonna copy Medic Ingram. I love that play. I think that the warding that you get from Medic Ingram is very valuable. I'm interested why you put it on Quester Jarda, or whatever that guy is. What's that guy's name? Quester Jarda, yeah. That's an interesting choice to put it on him. And hey, if he wanted to be more efficient, he could have Twin Bolted there first, but he didn't. Because the Medic Ingram would have healed it. The Medic Ingram clone would have healed it. Yeah, no, like, Quester Jarda is very efficient, but like, is Shrix better? Maybe? He is stunned. Maybe Rector Gallum? For the key cost increase? Never mind. Fear for the ward remove, and then Gateway. So this is how Coda deals with wards. I have to ping you, and then I've got to kill everything. Because Coda can do that. And there's not much that Dominic could have done to stop that. But look, so George did get the steal from the Pit Demon, but he hasn't gotten much other efficiency out of this turn. George, like, has saved a lot of face there, but he's still 2 keys down. Like, how does George come back into this game? I'm gonna go back to George's deck. Let's do this one with actually knowing the list, shall we? There's a Rise. The John Smith is gone. There's triple Hunting Witch, but no key charge. He has to do some big Hunting Witch turn and get 2 keys unanswered on that efficient. Like, he has to get enough Amber on Hunting Witch to forge 2 keys, then not lose any of it, while he stops Dominic with his other 2 houses. This looks pretty rough for George. Okay. Hey, he's doing the thing I said. Let's see if he gets to 12. So he was at 5. Right, so at 6, 7, 8. Oh, you're not supposed to stop there. Okay. Like, a comeback is possible. Dominic could just fizzle out. If Dominic doesn't have efficient cards like Logos and Star Alliance, like, George is going to have a lot more cards that are dead sometimes. Those Fears, that Gateway, that Sloth, are all dead unless they combo off hard. Dominic's cards are Worlds Collide, and they're all going to be slightly more useful even when they're bad, right? That's the idea, at least, of newer sets. Fewer cards that work less good. Oh man, look at this, the Crassosaurus. So George is at 8, we just said that, and then Dominic puts himself to 2, and that counts to 10, so Crassosaurus takes all of them. Technically, Dominic just gave 2 of his amber to George, but he did buy himself another turn, because since Dominic is so far ahead on keys, it takes George 3 turns to win no matter what, unless something key abduction happens, right? If the Crassosaurus dies, then it's like George stole 2 amber. But I think that Dominic is saying, okay, I'm fine with losing a turn on that 2 amber. It is interesting to see, though, that Dominic did not play a very big turn. I don't think he did, at least. Here comes the seed for regrowth. Because George wants to get all the value out of these hunting witches that he can right now. Yeah, I think that's what George is doing. George is actually going to go with a triple witch turn. Yep. All right, everyone, let's count amber. So 1 for the regrowth, 2 more for the hunting witch. Let's see where we go from here, George. 3 more. Ooh, with the that's what, 2 damage when it comes into play? So that's 6 amber. Yeah, Dominic has given George a real window. And notice that he chose to reap with that other dinosaur instead of killing a hunting witch because he needed to have 10 amber in play for the Crassosaurus to work. Dominic wanted that fancy Crassosaurus amber play, but it might be his own detriment. So how is George going to kill this Crassosaurus, though? Will he? Dominic doesn't have a lot of big amber steel cards, so George doesn't mind going to a million amber. I don't think he will, at least, right? That shows you how much I was paying attention to Dominic's Worlds Collide list.
Low-key, feels good.
Yeah, so George is really thinking about what to do next. He discards the co-op hunting, which I definitely agree with, so that the giant sloth can fight into the Crassosaurus. I think that's right. Or the Crassosaurus, no, he fought into the other guy, that's why. Because Crassosaurus is very strong there. I wasn't even considering, and no one checked me on this, that the other guy was preventing the Amber and Crassosaurus from going back to George. It would have gone to the common supply. Co-op to kill Ludo, okay. And then the giant sloth couldn't do anything because playing the wolf is much better than getting the amber. I guess it's, yeah, playing him puts him on the board, and he would get the same amount of amber from the monkey instead, the giant sloth. Okay, so we have Commander Chan with Chan's Blaster to do Chan's effect to use the other guy. Dominic makes it go all the way through his deck. And again, we see Hunting Witches living on the Coda board. Is this the comeback that George needed? So this is what I was talking about. Dominic's deck just kind of is fizzling right here. Dominic isn't finding his efficiency cards because he played all of his Tau Tau Vapors early on. Maybe now that he shuffles, Dominic can draw back into these Tau Tau Vapors? And even, speaking of Tau Tau Vapors, Dominic had that huge turn 1 with the Igor and the Triple Vapors that he didn't even get any amber from. Maybe Dominic can find the Red Alert. Or even the Imperial Forge would be great here. The Exile would be great here. He finds 1 Vapors, because we know he has 3. Does anyone know how that Mother Gun died? I didn't notice why that died. But George does get his first key with 3 Hunting Witches in play. Tachyon Pulse. Okay, that kills all the things or something. It's like EMP Blast, but it's slightly more efficient or something. I think my friend Nate just won his game on like double hunting witch, nature's called Shota nonsense. Ugh. Dust Pixies. My god. Okay. So what is George trying to do here? He wants to kill that Crassosaurus very badly. And using your Skirmish Wolf seems like a great way to do it. If George has no Untamed cards in hand, should he play Untamed? I think it's fine. Especially killing the Crassosaurus. He runs Double Witch into Commander Chan. Because I guess he doesn't have that many creatures and he doesn't think it's that valuable. That's a questionable play. I mean, George is going for big plays. Like, George could win this on a Key Abduction somehow. Maybe he's going for a big Key Abduction somewhere. But, like, with those 3 Hunting Witches, he should have had that. Like, he should have been able to... no, you know what? He has to kill the Crassosaurus there before some other Saurian nonsense comes down and lets them do their thing. But should George have just played more Hunting Witches, more creatures to draw cards and get Hunting Witch Amber? If George had 2 Amber, or 2 other creatures, or 3 other creatures, I think there's an argument for George playing whatever house that other house is. Just that way, George gets all the... he makes more Amber. And unless Dominic answers his Hunting Witches, then they don't die. Also, what was up with Commander Chan getting fought into? What was that upgrade on? And that was just his gun, right? Interesting. Very interesting. And here we go. George is at 2 keys. We've found the comeback. And did I not call it when I said that it has to involve those Hunting Witches and getting a ton of Amber? I mean, this is how it happens. If it happens, this is how it happens. And now George is going to play out a bunch of Mars creatures, draw the Key Abduction, and then, ooh, Compod? He plays the Compod? You've got to be kidding me. How is that correct? He plays the Phosphorus Stars, not the Compod, but he plays the Phosphorus Stars. Why is that correct? I don't know if it is. That's a very strange play. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, like playing the Mars turn there to set up for the Key Abduction turn is important. But I don't know. Is Axiom coming? I don't think Axiom is coming. But importantly, so that Rector Gallum is actually relevant. Now it's going to be much harder for George to actually key abduct on this turn. And then... so yeah, he's relevant. The Gigantosaurus is a little bit less relevant. That Mars Warper, that Mind Warper actually gets under the Crassosaurus, so that's kind of cool. I mean, it captures Amber on Saurian cards. Like, it's not like they don't want that to happen anyway. The Exile is here too. That could be a big play card. I don't know. Is this game close? This game is really close all of a sudden. We have 5 Amber on George's side and 2 keys to 6 and 2 keys on Dominic's side. Somehow George has pulled this game back, and because Dominic did not pressure check hard enough, then I don't know. Also, Dominic has drawn not great here. Like, his cards plus board is 5-4-2 with like a stun. Ugh. Yeah, Dominic's cards plus board is not looking good right now. I think George very aggressively playing his Phosphorus Stars it's a play that I've never seen other players make. Here's the Churette. You know, classic Coda stuff, taking him off of the key. Not going for the key abduction turn today. Maybe next turn. Is this a 2 discard pass turn? Ew. I mean, if you're going for the key abduction turn, that's what you have to do. He only has 5 cards in hand. That's his fault. That candle unit is the only thing that he got out of that Phosphorus Stars. And he even stunned his own Untamed guys. If he could have played Untamed. Oh, here's the Arise. Now, he only got 1 card in his deck. That's not a lot. The key abduction's already in the discard pile. It's one of the first cards he played. And George is still trying to pick up Mars cards. I think he's going to do a big Compod turn next turn. I think that's the plan. Nope, he could have arised for a bunch of Untamed cards and gotten all the Hunting Witches back. But no, he's going to go for a big Compod turn with this Mars Warper. And then this Mind Warper. And then I don't know what he's going to do. He's up against Saurian cards. They love having Amber on them. I don't know what the plan is here. And, okay, so here's Questor Jarda. Or whoever that guy is. Prefector Ludo? My dinosaur names aren't super great yet. I think Dominic reaped on the plus key dinosaur, but didn't exalt, so he's actually not getting the no, he did not exalt him, which I guess is fine because he's not in check, and the key abduction's all the way in the bottom of the deck. The Questor Jarda goes to the other side of the table because okay, so he did exalt the Rector, the Redder Gallum or whatever. I don't mind not exalting, but clearly he wanted to, and he did anyway, so he got it. But, so Dominic is now at least 6 amber. 8 amber, I see? Is 8 amber enough? No, it's not. George can Mind Warper twice? That's not enough. Is there a John Smith in his hand? I think there is. So he could, hypothetically, he can Mind Warper 3 times, which is kind of absurd if you ask me. But he could put it all on that one dinosaur on the top with the 4 damage, put all 3 with the Mind Warper. Oh, he's got double Mind Warper. He could even he could be very efficient with this turn, I think. Compod makes everything a little bit weird. Yeah, so here comes the Mind Warper. Put it up top. There you go. So yeah, that's the John Smith up top. Here comes the Compod for 2. For the Mind Warper and the John Smith. Yep. And he's going very slowly here to make sure that he doesn't do his weird Mars combo incorrectly. Because if he does, then he loses. Candle unit. Dominic removes the candle unit. Nicely done. And then Mars Warper readies and actions a 3rd time over onto the other guy. And George does put Dominic in check. I mean, he did all the things. He sheds a chain. He draws a card. I think he shuffles and draws 1 or 2 more. It's a weird play, but it technically gets him there for now. I see 6 amber on George's card and only 5 on Dominic's. That counts for now. Yeah, Ludo doesn't protect himself, but like it's not even about the amber on Ludo not being protected. It's more about George just getting Dominic off of check, and George being at 6 amber. George has done all of the things that you're supposed to do in Keyforge on this turn. He put his opponent in check, and he got off of check. That's all you have to do. And that's why you put all the amber on Ludo. It has 4 damage, but also it only protects other creatures. Also, look at this. Dominic is holding a Cutthroat Research, which won't help him. Can Dominic not get George off of check? He can't use his Candle unit because it's stunned. And that stun is from the very greedy Phosphorus Stars. So that Phosphorus Star is coming in huge right here. He can with the Redder, but he doesn't. What's happening? Is the key cost increased or something? What are we all missing? It seems as though Dominic has thrown the game. All right, that's the game. Congrats to George. Let me just find out what happened there. Okay, so time has called. That was a timed win for Dominic. Dominic could have taken him off of the key, but he had the Star Alliance turn to take him to time. Get all the amber, win the game. Good game to Dominic. Wow, what a crazy game. Again, Worlds Collide taking it in the time. In the time. But also, I'm surprised, like, bravo to George for that comeback. Hold on, I'll be right back.
So I'm definitely scrumming. I'm having fun, so that's the important part.
Yeah, no, these games are like, they're going long. They're going to time. But, like, they're still at the end of the game. Both of the games that we saw go to time were 2 keys to 2 keys. And I know a lot of games, you know, they don't go to time. It might have something to do with being on camera. Maybe that takes a little bit longer. Maybe you think a little bit longer about your plays. There were a couple of very complicated plays during that game for both George and Dominic that they both thought about for a little while. So, I don't know. They might come over to talk about the game. They're cleaning up right now. But yeah, thank you. Oh, look at this. I have to fix my chat. Hold on. If I reset my stream, I have to reset my chat. There you go. You don't have to add 10 minutes to the clock. You just play faster. Gotta get good, right? Yeah, come on over. Dominic,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Dominic, fantastic game. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
You are now 3-1.
Yeah.
Tell me about your game. Come in a little closer.
Yeah. I mean, if you've noticed, my deck, which is a Saurian deck, has a lot of capture.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Has a lot of capture, and then I can spend that amber. You saw, it wasn't. I think I spent it on what was it? Senator Strix.
You did. You did Strix. You even played the upgrade on him. You tributed, and then you did the Imperial Forge.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that.
Yeah. I actually had intended to exile him, but at the end I worked out the math. Was like, I can just spend all the amber on it and not exile for Strix, which would have been funny, but then he would have gotten to spend it. So I was sitting there doing the math for a couple minutes, like, okay, It was a very well thought out turn, right?
And you didn't even spend any of your own amber, like maybe one or something.
Right. So I got to 2 keys real fast, and then my momentum stops. I couldn't draw any of the cards I wanted, so I was sitting there with like 2/2/2 hands, like, what do I do now? He's building up a massive Mars board, an Untamed. He's got 3 hunting witches, and I can't do anything about it.
There was a moment when you were 2 keys ahead, and I go, okay, how would George come back in this game? And I go, it has to involve these hunting witches, and just maybe some sort of loop your deck, get a key abduction.
Right.
And also, it was predicated on you running out of steam, and I'm like, well, he's got Logos and Star Alliance. How does that happen? You played
bad
all 3 of your
draws.
Tao Vapors turn 1 and your Igor. You even discarded the Wormhole Technician, which pro play by you, to get the better red alert.
Yes.
None of us knew what was going on, but you knew what was going on.
I was wondering if anyone would notice. I was wondering if George would notice, and he didn't. So he played more creatures than I just went.
I didn't see it coming. We were all wondering what happened. I'm like, the life orb sits on the table. It didn't pop yet. Phenomenal play. Yeah, like I'm very surprised at how familiar you are with all these very Worlds Collide specific tricks. You did a thing where you fought with your Medic Ingram into a thing and you rewarded it and stunned something else. That was great. Your skill with your very Worlds Collide deck was apparent. And congratulations on winning.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for coming over. All right. What a great game. All right, we're going to go on break. Next round shouldn't be very long away. We will be right back. All right, I think we're live. All right, everyone, we are coming back. We're back. It's round 5 now. Ooh. Round 5. Ooh. The Vain Praetor. And this is going to be Jack. Oh, I did it twice on the same one. We'll see which one's sitting right. Hold on, I'll give it to him. Okay, so Jack is over here. And then this is going to be Jack and Jason. Excellent. Good luck to both players. All right, so this game we have a Worlds Collide, not a mirror, but you know, they're both playing Worlds Collide. So this is going to be how well can I remember the Worlds Collide cards. I think I'm doing all right. But Worlds Collide mirrors are I think they tend to come down to who has the better removal or who has the more timely removal. I don't know. There's a lot that can happen here. I saw there's a diss in one of them. Okay, let's look up the decks. The Vain Praetor. And oh, that's scribbles. That's a typo. I can fix it. Okay, so the Vain Praetor, Saurian Star Alliance Logos, Triple Eddy Ghost Form. Okay, I've heard about this deck. This deck is gross. Triple Eddy Ghost Form is very strong. Kirby with the Blaster, Order 24, good Saurian stuff. Yeah, this deck is strong. And then the Sage that scribbles is Triple Exhume, Double Eddy, Odiac Patrician, Rector Gallum, Harbinger of Doom is going to be... Let's see how these double Harbinger of Dooms do. I like the Snag, I like the Collar of Subordination. What is this game going to come down to? These Eddies, I want to see who has Eddy control. Like, I don't think these boards are going to stay very large. Except for this Ghost Form. How do you get rid of a Ghost Form card? Does Jack have any tools to deal with that? You could Collar him. Collar for the Ghost Form Eddy seems phenomenal. What is this guy? Grimlockus, Ducks, meh. Chant of Hubris is alright. Tribute's great. Like, Jack is gonna have plenty of Amber control, but I really want to see how this game shakes out. Yeah, and the Ghost Form is in Logos, so man, I have no idea where this game is going to go. I feel like it's going to be very grindy, and whoever has the board is going to be in a significantly stronger position. What is that? Is that the ghost form already? That can't be the ghost form already. It's in Jack's deck. Discombobulator? Your Amber cannot be stolen? Okay, that's fine. Look at Jack with the Amber control cards. A little early for that, but I mean, I'm about it. Man, these games are crazy. These players, I think, are both undefeated. Let me check if they're undefeated. Both of these players have 3 points. I don't know what that means. Hold on. Okay, I have no idea. But we see Jason playing a bunch of cards, Star Alliance cards, make some Amber. It's still the early game. Doesn't really matter. That quadricorder is really nice. I'm a big fan of quadricorder. It's not a quadricorder. It is a quadricorder. Soulkeeper. And what is that, Lilithal? I can't tell. Oh. I'm missing plays right now. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of new cards hitting the table right now. Is it Born Knit? No, it's a Lilithal. I was right. So I really like warding the Eddy there. I think Eddies are going to control this game. I think whoever has the better Eddies is going to be in a much stronger position in this game. And look at Jason just going really hard with the Amber on his board. What even is that card? I don't even know. Centurion Stenopsis. Gets 3 power for each Amber? Okay. Okay, so things to note here. Let me take a step back. Let me slow down on this one, because this game is going very slowly right now. I'm trying to like hype cast this. I'm trying to talk about this game very quickly, but this game is not going to be a quick game at all. Who's ahead? I want to say Jason, because he has 4 dinosaurs on the table. And that's really good. But I think Jack is actually trying to push Amber a little bit harder. And he used the Twin Bolt to take away some wards. I don't mind Jack's position. It's not better than Jason's, but I wouldn't say that Jason is that far behind. You see, the Eddy and the quadricorder means that Jack isn't going to forge anytime soon. He has 7 Amber, 6 Amber. It's not going to forge. But Jack has that, what is it, double Harbinger of Doom? Just to wipe the entire board? I don't know. The Soulkeeper's nice. How is Jack going to... He has triple Exhume with double Harbinger? Is that right? That's pretty silly. So that's a cool combo. Wipe the board, get your cool things back. I think counting archives is going to be very important in this matchup, now that I'm watching it, because neither player can pull their archives for fear of their Eddies being garbage. Jason has 3 Eddies in a ghost form, but Jack has 2 Eddies and 3 Exhumes. And Exhume is almost better than another Eddy, right? Because you still get the play effect, and you get to not care about your board. Jason is actually spending a lot of time right now not reaping and fighting. So Jack has all of this Amber and can spend time actually taking all the Amber away from Jason. And as long as Jack gets like a reasonable board wipe somewhere, then he'll be fine. Is Jason fighting too much? See, that Senator Shreks play is very big for Jason. Putting Jack on check at 7 is a big deal. Jack has what? 8 amber? His keys cost more for the quadricorder. Yeah, it's cost +3 plus Eddie. Man, that's ridiculous. I don't know how to cast this one. If I were in their seats, I wouldn't know how to play this one. Everything that Jack does probably feels bad. That's the Pterodactyl. Very well named card. It's a cool card. Capture 1, which is really important because it takes him off of check. Now, if Jack finds the right guys and... Is that guy worth playing? Is that big dinosaur? He's an 11 plus 2 armor. And he has what, taunt, I think? But okay, this is a very good turn for Jack. He still plays 4 cards and he gets himself off a check. And he wards the 2 amber on him. Seems fine. But it doesn't feel like this game is going to be fun for anybody. No, don't forge. Don't. Oh, he forges at 6. He isn't off of check. That's too bad. That's really too bad. Okay, now Jason is solidly in the lead. He actually got a key off. Yeah. If Jack had stopped the key there, then Jack would be in a great spot, right? A much better spot. But nope. He really needed to get that amber off of Senator Shrix. And here's Kirby. I wonder if we'll see Kirby's blaster. But Kirby still gets to play... Ooh. Okay. Jason about to play Cutthroat Research, but remembers Odak the Patrician stopped stealing entirely, so he could play it, but then it wouldn't get stolen. So Jack lets him take it back. Good on Jack. Yes. Nothing ever happened. No one saw that coming. And you can see that Jason was excited to do that play, and that seems like why he played Kirby in the first place. He really wanted to get that Cutthroat Research not only at the right time, but efficiency plays with Kirby. But too bad. Instead, Jason is going to use Kirby to just find some other efficiency plays. Like, this is what I was talking about when I was saying we were going to see a grindy Worlds Collide game. Hey look, more space guys. That is... Oh, I don't know who that is. Is he like Assault 2? That is... It's not Commander Shan. Tactical Officer Moon, yeah. Ugh, Assault 2. Rearrange the creatures in a battle line. I don't even think he cares. Like, Pterodactyl cares. I think there's some protect... Okay, he moves the taunts next to each other. That's kind of cool. And then he kills Odiak with him. I don't know how that works. Information Officer archives another card for Eddie. Wow. And here's more dinosaurs. Jason's not even threatening a key. And Jack wishes he was, but with the quadricorder and the Eddie, it's just not happening. He used Kirby to play Twin Bolt instead of playing... What did Twin Bolt hit? Oh, he used it to get Odiak. That's fine. That's important. Yeah, an info officer lets him archive even more cards. There are a lot of very important efficiency plays that if you're not watching out for, you will lose this game. And little things like that archive, when you know you have Triple Eddie, really matters. Like, really, really matters. It's hard to cast this game, because I don't know what's in their hands or in their decks or what their strategies are. But the overarching thing to look for here is what is the most efficient thing you can do every turn to cards plus board the most. You have to think about the delta, you have to think about cards plus board, and you have to really find the most value you can at a time. Like, now that that pterodactyl's out, that thing can kill 3 creatures if it fights into Shrix. No. Okay, because Shrix is in the middle, it doesn't ever kill 3 creatures. It kills 2 no matter where it fights, though. But that's a big deal. Killing two creatures of your choice of your opponents is very important as far as getting that power back in the game. And here's the Eddie. Jack just so sad. And there's the ghost form on the Eddie. So, how is Jack... So ghost form says, I am intangible and invincible or something. So let me look it up. It is... invulnerable. I was wrong on all accounts. So invulnerable says you can't be damaged or destroyed. And... yeah, damaged or destroyed. And if you would notice, there's not a lot of indestructible. Invulnerable, yeah. Indestructible is a magic thing. You can't use that. He puts it on the science officer, and I'm actually a big fan of that. With the quadricorder, also considering where the pterodactyl is in the line, invulnerable is very valuable. So it says that you can't be destroyed or dealt damage, but also ghost form, it doesn't give you full immunity. If you reap, you have to archive ghost form or fight. So the idea is that if you put it on a guy with a very strong passive, then he'll never go away. Jack does have a tool for that, and it's that Collar of Subordination. And I wonder, because people always talk about like what they lost to, and hearing that you lost to a ghost form Eddie is very memorable. If Jack steals using Collar, if he steals Commander Chen, or the that information officer with the ghost form, that's a big deal, because it gets the quadricorder off of Jason's board, it puts it on Jack's board. Otherwise, I don't see how Jack really deals with. I don't know how Jack would deal with this unit. It's very efficient. I guess it can't reap anymore, or else it'll archive its own ghost form. Man. So is Jack doing more dinosaurs this turn? His hand has no dinosaurs in it. Oh, you know what? Von Sock, you are correct. Quadricorder would still belong to Jason, as would Ghost Form, despite it being on Jack's creature. If it got stolen with the collar. So maybe that's where Jason chose to put the Ghost Form. Because it means that even if you steal it, one of the great plays with Ghost Form is you put it on your opponent's creature. You still control it, but your opponent would have to kill their own creature to get rid of your Amber control. Here's the tribute. The tribute on the 11 power dinosaur. He's probably going to exalt to double tribute, right? That's what you do. Oh no, it's on the 12 power dinosaur. It's even bigger, which is almost too bad, to be honest. Who'd he kill? He killed the guy who gets more power and and Kirby, which is, no. Who was in the end? I don't remember. But still, that pterodactyl actually getting a ton of efficiency. Counting out his Amber, I see 12. 4 times 3. So is Jack actually threatening a Forge? I don't know with the Eddie on the table. The Eddie in the Ghost Form, and the Quadricorder, is at least plus 3. Ghost Form is plus 3, because there's 3 different houses on Jason's board. But the Eddie has got to be plus 3 or 4 or 5 even. Jason hasn't pulled his archive all game. He's played 2 Eddies and he's archived 1 with the science officer. If the science officer reaps, he would archive another card. I think, right? That's how he works? The information officer. Yeah, he archives another card, and the Ghost Form would archive 2. Not to mention having reaped or fought. Crazy. Look at this deck from Jason. It is just all sorts of efficient. Very, very durable board, too. Like, there's just so many targets on Jason's table that you have to deal with. That's a good question. Okay, so when should Jason let Jack forge? Because there is a world where the Harbinger of Doom comes out or something bad happens to the whole board. All of Jason's Amber control is board based. So if he lost it all, then Jack would forge at 6, and then he would forge at 6 again before Jason could build up. I think if Jason's making Jack forge at like 12 or 13 or something, you let him do it. Wow. And I mean, at least Jason has a key. At least Jason has a key. Information exchanged, steal an amber. Nothing on the board stopping that. Eddie reaps because let's get some amber.
18.
There's 18 minutes left in the round. We've had 1 key forged. Okay. More Eddie plays.
It's like Harmony does, like Harmony does.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, maybe Jason doesn't let Jack forge. Like, you have to watch for tiebreaker. So if tiebreaker happens, you forge a key at 6, no matter what, and then you count amber. So
That's not a key cost.
if Jason lets Jack just build up for another 20 minutes, then Jason could lose this game on 1 key to 0 keys and then tiebreaker rules. But there's the Harbinger of Doom. So, and the collar. So he's holding the collar and the Harbinger. I don't know what to do about this. We haven't seen any exhumes out of Jack. He's got 3 of them, right?
Yeah, body too.
So Jack just plays some guys. All right, we're all ready here. Thanks, chat. We're ready to make some judge calls if Amber starts to get keys start to get forged. If there's no key increase cost on his side, he should forge at 6. But he owns his, he controls his forge quarter, but it still belongs to him. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, he's at 6, and if there's nothing increasing his key cost, then he should be forged.
Has he forged?
Jason should forge his second key if there's nothing increasing the key cost on Jack's side. Okay. But I'm not sure if there is.
Just so you know, there are more rated hits.
Thank you.
You can buy the 80 count back boxes. And they have a sticker. Same price.
Was that before this turn?
Hold on. One second.
Was it before this turn?
All right, guys. I think we did it. What just happened? Quintrino Flux happened? What did I miss? Jason just made 1 billion amber somehow? Oh, he got all the amber off. He used the Harbinger of Doom against Jack because Jack is hoarding a ton of amber control. Wow, and the stealth mode. So now Jack is going to forge at 7, and Jason just stealth modes Jack. What's Jack going to do? Yeah, so he Quintrino fluxed, hitting the Harbinger of Doom and doesn't matter whatever else, which kills the whole board. And since Jack was hoarding the Tribute Amber, yep, 7 for Jack. Thank you for doing it right. Since Jack was hoarding all that Tribute Amber and that other Rex guy, Jason gets a ton of Amber. So he rolls into his next turn, ready to forge. Wow. That Harbinger of Doom, just... you can't play Harbinger of Doom and wipe your own board if you have a ton of Amber. Something like that. Turns out the Tribute Harbinger plus the... okay, actually, never mind. Did I say this game was going to end? Nah, it ain't going to end. Jack probably archives a bunch of cards, and Eddie comes to save the day, maybe? How many cards does Jack have archived? The Igor doesn't help you. All right, not enough. Good game. Crazy game. Congrats to Jason and the Vane Praetor taking down another player. Wow. Yeah, that it took Eric. Yeah, so that deck took down Eric from Team SAS. It took down Nate from BDQ, and it just took down Jack as well. Let's try to get these guys an interview real quick, because man. Ooh, so if Jack had actually played the Graft in advance, Jason wouldn't have been able to make that play. And then the Harbinger, maybe the Harbinger play was waiting for the Graft, but that's tricky to get to make line up with 3 different houses. Let me get these guys over for an interview real quick. Yeah, wow. All right, so what do I think about that game? I don't know. That game hurt my head, and I'm sure it hurt the heads of the players, because that was a very tough game to think through. Nate, how did your game go?
This round?
Yeah.
This round went very well.
Okay.
Looking at my opponent's deck list, he had 2 Grump Buggies, but then all his other cards, like Burn Stockpile, Ronnie's, everything else he consumed, all had effective at 7. So I just made sure I stayed at 6.
Nicely done.
He never got much value out of them.
How did he not make you forge at 7 with double Grump Buggy?
Oh, he drew 1, and I just kept killing his 5s. I had speed sigil in place, so I kept killing his 5s, calling his 5s. He did have Iron Obelisk and Gauntlet of Commands, so like he could play creatures. On the final turn, I open up with 4 Amber, and I'm looking at a hand of Dis, and I just go, I Poltergeist as 1 Grump Buggy. I have no board.
Okay.
I control the weekend into Grobnar.
Yep.
Because I know I played the search at your hand.
Yep.
It's like I know he has Stockpile in his hand. I don't play a creature. I just pass at 6. I go, you can play Grobnar.
Pass at 6. No forge with Stockpile. Turns out, I like double Grump Buggy with all these 7 steals, but nicely done.
Play around.
Control the Week is a good card, guys. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Don't let me tell you otherwise, because I might say something like that. That's something I would say. Grump Buggy is Control the Week's not that good. Just play around it or something. Turns out you can win the game with it.
I actually kept him off.
Wow.
I kept him off key with my own. I played the 5-power guy that steals in 4. It didn't steal, but it just kept him off.
Yeah, Schuler stopping 2 Amber's pretty good. Man, this has been a... What, that was round 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one more round.
I think we're cutting to a top 8 too.
Top 8?
I
So
don't think there's enough people to hit 5-1s.
there's only 70-something people, so there's only going to be a top 8. All right, I don't know where the players went. They ran off. Oh well, they'll probably be back around, but I thought that was a great game. Fun to watch, fun to cast, very hard to follow, especially with all the new cards, but we got there. Oh, come on over. George, was it? Jason, I knew that. Jason, all right. Congratulations. Tell me, here, come actually closer.
There we go.
All right, tell me about that game.
It was a tricky game. When I did a deck evaluation on his list, I saw the color of Subordination actually, and it was crucially important to me not to put a Ghost Form on my own Eddie, because I was very afraid he was going to take it.
Yep.
And I almost did actually play it on my Eddie, just out of habit, unfortunately.
Did you realize? Did you realize the quadricorder interaction? That if he stole it. If he stole the quadricorder, it's still your quadricorder.
I did not.
And one of the fun things you can do with quadricorder is you put it on their guy.
Yes.
You just equip it to their guy. It still works for you.
I probably could consider that, except in that specific deck that I play, the Ghost Form Eddie becomes a great target to always put the quadricorder on. So I, out of habit, do it that way. So I also had to play a little bit differently than I normally would.
I was also very surprised to see him bring in 2 Eddies and triple Exhume.
Yes.
I looked at that.
I was pretty worried about that.
me waiting for that game to start. I go, wow, this is gonna be very grindy.
Yeah.
I can't you forged the first key at 6.
Yes.
And at that point, I'm like, it's over.
Yeah.
It's gonna go to time, and you're gonna have 1 key, and it's gonna be it.
Well, yeah, I wasn't quite as worried but I was really worried about his ability to bump my key cost with his graft. I was really worried that he would graft me for a lot. And since I knew I couldn't play my Eddie with the Ghost Form on it and just make it infinitely hard for him to get keys, I knew I would have to actually just try to force him to have expensive keys through the game.
And it's great when that play actually pays off, and you see that the collar coming down not on Eddie.
Yes.
like you thought about this play in analysis, you did the play in the late game, and it happened.
That's right.
Which is really cool to have happen.
Yeah, it was good. It was good planning that way, and then I was waiting to do the stealth mode turn to try and push it towards a victory.
You were holding that?
Yes. So I was waiting to try and make a play. I was not expecting it with the ruling to be that turn. I was expecting to get all the amber and play the stealth mode, so he couldn't react with the graft.
Yep.
And I could forge second key, then get to put him on check on the 3rd key and put him in a pickle. That was what I was really trying to accomplish. I was happy to have the key though, but I will not forget that ruling. That's for sure.
I've heard tale of the triple Eddie Ghost Form deck.
Oh, that deck, yeah.
and to see it actually work and played so well. You made a lot of plays that were very deck specific knowledge. The deck that has all these tools that work very well together, and you're actually playing around these Eddies, but also your Saurians are really pulling their weight.
They do. They have to, and that was a hard one because he had strong board state.
That game was all about the board state, and you held a very good amount of control on that game.
Yeah. I did try, and I think that one of the challenges his deck had was one of my good board clears is the Axiom of Chris, and I couldn't play it because his ability to have Amber on his Dino, so that made that card hurtful, and I was hoping he'd play some of his Harbingers of Doom.
He didn't until the last turn, and the second he did, you won the game.
That's right. I was hoping for that. Those would be friendly.
That's not his card. That's your card on his side of the table.
Yes, especially with that board state. Yeah, that was definitely how it went.
Anyway, congrats on the game. Thank you for coming to say hi. And what are you now? You're
4-1.
You're 4-1.
Yeah.
Were you both 3-1?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
I unfortunately lost the tiebreaker in my previous round, so that
tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you have to go 5-1. Good luck on your next game.
I'll go get it.
And we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming over. All right. That was round 5. I'll go on break and we'll come back for round 6. Don't go away.
once again. Let's see what kind of weather, and we're really having the weather these days, I'll tell you. There's a warm front way out on the coast there, coming on into the Ohio Valley, joining up a low-pressure area right here in Indiana. And from out of that low comes a cold front, down through Kentucky and all the way into Texas. Quite a bit of squall line activity. Number one, starting here in Virginia and coming on down through South Carolina and Georgia. Another squall line right off the coast there and through Louisiana and almost into Texas.
felt I was getting dumped from the bottom. Or maybe I just forgot how much there was for me. Maybe I forgot about the music that I could make on this organ, and how nice it sounded. Going into Charlie's and talking to people, and maybe going to a movie now and then, huh? No, I never won a beauty contest, but, you know, I had friends. I mean, I had good friends. Good ones. Somewhere along the line, I just forgot all the good things. That's what happened, you know. I just forgot.
You got a choice, you know.
Choice?
Still time.
Well, if I've got a choice, I mean, if I got a choice, and I want to go back. Understand? I want to go back.
All right, and we are coming back. Thanks again to Just Neighbors for letting me stream their music. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because I definitely enjoy it. All right, so we are here for round 6. We do have Dave Cordiero. Okay. He's on this side, so that means this will be... A Shine, Guide of the Truthful cover. This is Dave is playing the Drowsy Spirit Caller of Kissingham. All right, let me go get hang out with the players. Oh, this is round 6. Can you guys hear me? Check, check. Yeah, we can. Ready to rock. All right. So, Dave is running a Worlds Collide deck. Greg is running the a Coda deck. Shadows Grobnar Sanctum versus Dino's Logos. Turns out Dino's Star Trek Logos is a good house combination, right? Yeah. So, how do we feel about this matchup? I really want to see what the board state does because I think that Grobnar Sanctum is going to do a little bit better. Let's pull up these lists in the thing, shall we? Okay, so here's this, and here is Drowsy Spirit Caller of Kissing. Okay, so Dave. Okay, let's look at Greg's deck first. Greg is running triple Relentless Assault, triple Sergeant Zachiel. Look at all the cheats. Inspiration, Banner of Battle, double Bulwark with a Doorstep, a Bait and Switch, a Master Plan. So okay, double Moon Cursor, triple Zachiel, triple Relentless Assault. This is a very mean deck. A lot of killing coming out of this list. Valder. Okay. I want to see these Moon Cursors with 2 health. And then Dave is running Daughter, double Discombobulator, can't get stolen from. A lot of Taunt, some Hazardous. Transporter Platform, Favor of Rex, get your play effect again. Is Potion of Invulnerability? Yeah, it is. Yeah, Greg is going to be fighting. And Imperial Road, that's pretty good for efficiency. No leaders. I haven't seen any of the leaders today. There's the Zap. I want to see this Zap not able to kill a Moon Cursor because of the Banner of Battle. I would love to see that. Or the Bad Pennies, too. I want to see what this Zap does. It's going to be very interesting. Thorium Plasmate, too. So, yeah. It looks like Dave is just playing an efficient deck. And Greg is going to be killing Dave's board as much as possible. The 2 Discombobulators that Dave has, they'll probably be targeted down because I don't see any real way for him to protect these. There's not a ton of warding in this deck. There's a little bit, probably. Is there any warding? There's an Imperium. There might be like... I might be missing something. There's no Hologramophone. Keys cost +3. Okay. Alright, okay, we started. Okay, Bulwark, good turn 1. Dave's gonna play some dinosaurs for turn 2. Seems good to me. Right? Everything's good, right? Tell me if I got any problems. I'm watching the chat. Alright, turn 1, play some guys. That dinosaur is actually pretty strong. I think it's like a 4-2. And can ready all your guys if you exalt them after fighting. But instead, Greg, the anger too. Triple Relentless Assault and an anger with a War Song too. Very strong. Yumama Mastery to heal, War Drummer to heal. That also is very good. Greg is going to be fighting a ton. And look, it's already working. Here, he does it again. Relentless Assault. And then let's trade some damage. Okay, he's a 4-1. I mean, that's still a great trade. Oh, okay. Ready's in fight. Ready's 1 creature. Thanks. Okay, here's the Taunt Hazardous. I think that... Oh, there's the Zap. It does get the Bulwark, but Oh, it doesn't get the Bulwark. It does not get the Bulwark, but I really wanted it to get the Moon Curses and the Pennies. But I guess the Zap is gone. Oh well. What next? What is the next play here? What's Greg's plan? I think Greg just wants to build a wide board. Greg wants to spend 3 or 4 turns just putting guys on the table and not having them leave the table. Are there any board wipes in Dave's deck? There was the Axiom of Grisk, like that's the good one. And then a bunch of little ping damages, so... I don't know. Greg has his discard pile in the glare, and I don't feel like interrupting his play to make that happen. So, big misplay by Greg. Greg plays Bulwark, the Zachiel to ready and fight with the Bulwark into the Lieutenant, but doesn't realize that it has Hazardous. Bulwark had 3 damage on him, so Bulwark dies immediately before even getting to trade damage with the taunt. Big, big deal. That Bulwark living is actually pretty important. Dave is actually a very prominent player. Dave is, what is he, top 5 on the leaderboards or something? He's head of Team Reapout. Dave is very, very strong player. Number of top finishes. And it's interesting to see him here playing a Worlds Collide deck that is strong, but it doesn't seem like standout strong. You know, it doesn't seem like over the top strong. But it's got all the cards. It's doing the thing. Thorium Plasmate, again, not... Dave just trying to do ping damage and not even doing anything because there's no other neighbors for Greg to take damage from. There's the bait and switch for 1, which is totally fine now. That's all that does. Yeah. That second sergeant would have been kept alive after fighting into the Lieutenant Kyrgyzar. Here's a master plan. I don't know. Did anyone see what's under that master plan? Maybe we'll all be surprised. I don't know. Pitching Bad Penny. I don't mind that. Greg doesn't really want to play more Shadows right now. So pitching Bad Penny is fine. Greg actually should have the board control. If he had fought with the Bulwark correctly, the Zachiels and the Bulwark, then it would have been fine. Actually, he couldn't have done it. He's not allowed to play the first Sergeant without fighting with the Bulwark, so... Unless he's... You may? I don't remember. But... Didn't we say that Greg was supposed to have board control? Maybe Greg is allowed to ready and fight all the time, but he has no free kill or free damage. That Lieutenant is free damage. It's a Worlds Collide Star Trek card. It's supposed to be a ton of efficiency, right? How do people feel about that, the Omni on that artifact? Play your guys, but they're stunned anyway? I don't love it. It still feels very slow. So, okay. Dave has more cards on the table, but Greg's not losing. They're 3 amber apiece. Like, okay. Warsong, Relentless Assault. Ready and fight into you. That's the Wormhole Technician. Fight with the Sergeant into Fran. Can't fight Kirby, can't fight Eddie. Maybe you fight... You don't fight the Rex. So I think you fight Rex? He's already stunned. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, of course Incubation Chamber is better. Incubation Chamber is a phenomenal card. But it is a good parallel to that, so I'll give that point. That's a very good comparison. Ah, Greg has a Whispering Reliquary. That's very good. But isn't that transportation platform just going to do so much work for Dave? He's going to pick up that Eddie with whatever's on it, or just the Kirby. That seems fine too. Like, reaping with Kirby and picking up and replaying Kirby is 2 free cards from your hand? That's so good. If there's a way to play Eddie out of turn, then maybe you just pick up Eddie. Oh, he has the Imperium. There's that ward that we were looking for. There's the platform for the Kirby. Kirby coming back. Oh, we're going to play her. She's Fight, Reap, do something cool. Oh, help reset your hand. That's pretty good. Also just kind of get through your deck to shuffle sooner? Sure. Dave has 2 more cards and he has 2 Kirby plays. Does he have another card to play with Kirby or with the Imperial Road? So yeah, Dave is just doing very efficient Worlds Collide things. Imperial Road for another dinosaur on the side. I think it should be stunned. No, it's just another space boy. Can Greg handle this? He's supposed to be able to kill his board. There's no board wipe in here. There's a poison wave, but that hardly counts. Because then what are you doing on your Shadow's turn? Wow. He's already played 2 Relentless Assaults. Yeah, Dave just played 5 cards and replayed Kirby. Insane. And with the Helmsman Spears, he can reset his hand and just get a better one. Man. It's interesting to see how efficient the Logos house is right next to the Star Alliance house. When you compare this game to our last game that we just watched, where that Star Alliance Logos deck almost just fizzled out. This one is definitely based much more on the efficiencies and less around the Triple Eddie plan, but yeah, the synergy between Imperial Road and Kirby is phenomenal. And here's Greg fighting more guys, but can't get enough to get Dave off of a key. At least Greg puts himself to 6. Like, again, Dave's board is bigger, but Greg's not losing yet. And this is what a Coda deck versus a Worlds Collide deck should look like. Hey, look at Troll. I think he's got some sort of upgrade. That might be Yomama Mastery. But it also has 8 damage with the Banner of Battle, keeping him alive. But yeah, the Worlds Collide decks are just going to look bigger. They're going to be bigger, and the Coda deck can get just as much done with less of a board. Greg has had much stronger events, much stronger actions, and Dave has been trying to do all this board efficiency stuff, which has been working very well. Yeah, and the Phalanx Strike, like, the Exalting really coming in. Like, Exalt was supposed to be a cost of, like, oh, you want to do this effect again? You have to pay this cost of essentially giving your opponent an Amber. Turns out that's not that big of a cost when you can protect your guys so effectively. It is nice that Greg got rid of the taunt on Dave's board, but I don't know where he's going next. Greg can't continue fighting Dave and expecting to win when... Oh, look, he's not even on check because Dave has the Eddie out, of course. Greg can't expect to win if he's just fighting and not reaping. Helmsman Spears. Resetting your hand. I haven't done that very much myself. I don't think I've actually triggered that card yet, but I bet you it feels really good to get that sort of efficiency. And you get to discard the cards too, so like you get to fuel your discard a little bit. Second Kirby. I guess it's the same Kirby again. For that card, for Favor of Rex. Get another play effect. To archive another card. More efficiency, more draw, more Eddie trigger. And Gregory just has no answers to this. Greg has been playing his cards to get Dave, and despite the misplay, that wouldn't have been the difference between Dave having a huge board and Dave having a big board, right? It's certainly a difference, but it's not enough to justify. Like I don't think Gregory has the tools to beat Dave here, because he might be able to fight Dave down, but even that takes a lot of resources, and Greg's not getting closer to winning the game without that. Greg actually needs a Coda board wipe. but he doesn't have any outside of Poison Wave. Look, is this Silvertooth gonna have to fight into something? Like, just to take out the Igor or a ward on the Eddie? Ugh, that feels so bad. Relentless Whispers for not Igor. Ugh. Is that a cloaking dongle, I think? There it is. You can see Gregory being upset because he forgot about the elusive. I didn't remember the elusive. Yeah, Dave's deck is also probably very efficient. If Dave ever does have to pull his archive, then he's going to be just fine. Because he's going to have a ton of probably Logos cards. Ugh. So, like, what can Greg do to get back in this game? He's supposed to be, like, stealing. That's the discombobulator still on Eddie. So, Gregory can't be stealing from Dave. I guess that's why you didn't Relentless Whispers. Man. And Dave playing that Star Alliance, going to do a crazy turn. Reaping for 1, 2, 3, 4 as it is. Dave with 2 keys. Yeah, I don't see Greg winning this. I don't see Greg with the tools to do this. Yep, Greg can't steal for 2 reasons. There's Odiak and the discombobulator. Wow. Is this just a maybe Dave is just playing this deck and it's winning because it has a very good Coda matchup. I mean, Dave is winning because he's a good player, has a good deck, and he's playing very, very well, of course. But there's 3 anti-steal cards, or unless there's more that I'm not counting. Maybe that's particularly strong because... Oh no, I lost a pin. I lost my little Insane pin. All I'm saying is maybe Dave is getting at least 1 free win because his deck plays so well against Coda. No shame in that. Like, that's why you play this deck, because, oh, I think people will play Coda decks. And when you're right, you get to get some free wins. Seems pretty good if you ask me. It's not free. He had to fight for this, but if Gregory had the tool to deal with this, which is any of a number of Coda board wipes, he would be in a lot better position. And whenever we see a Worlds Collide deck building a bigger board than a Coda deck, especially if the Coda deck used to have some sort of board dominance strategy, it's just really bad for the Coda deck and it's hard for them to come back. Wow. Thorium Plasmate for the Archive. Wow, Dave's not even done reaping yet. Okay, Dave has had a meager 3 amber. And Gregory has a bad penny in his hand. Yeesh. And Greg's gonna do what? Play 3 cards? Play 5 cards? He Whispering Reliquaries, not the transportation platform because it has an amber on it. My god. Hey, look, Bulwark gets to fight the Kirby. Good for you. Terms of Redress. Okay. This is a great turn for Gregory, but it just doesn't do enough. That's still 4 cards. That's 4 Sanctum cards. That's supposed to be a good turn for an early game, but Dave has a little bit much right now. Start with Helmsman Spears for 6 cards. One, two, three. 4, 5, 6. Dave draws the rest of his deck. Plays more Star Alliance cards. Hey, look, it's that zap that I cared about early on. I don't know. Does anyone here see a way for Gregory to come out of this? Like, looking at the lists, this seemed like it was going to be a much more even game. But what I'm learning is that the Relentless Assaults, although they are very efficient, if you can't get 3 guys to fight with, first off, and then you can't keep those guys around, all of these out-of-house play tricks, the Inspirations, the Zakiels, the Relentless Assaults, don't matter. They're not enough. Crazy. And I like how Dave is not just mass reaping, he's actually waiting for, trying to figure out which are the best plays for him in each moment. And Dave goes to a meager 6 amber. Dave isn't removing... Well, first off, Dave's creatures are taking damage and dying often. Some of them are warded. He takes damage. He had Failing Strike, he had Zap, he had Transportation Platform to pick up guys and replay them, which effectively heals them. Turns out Dave actually has a lot of ways to mitigate damage on his board. And Greg isn't playing a lot of guys in the way. Dave will lose a guy here or there, but when he's playing another 4, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel that bad. Anyway, congrats to Dave. Congratulations on making day 2, as you have done in the past. Let's switch back over to this. Anyway, this concludes our cast for day 1 of the Archon Vault Tour Pax Unplugged. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Just Neighbors for providing some music for the intermittent times. I'm not gonna shut down this stream immediately. I might have Dave come over, but otherwise, if not, we'll see you at day 2. Day 2 starts tomorrow, probably at 10 or so, 10:30, 11. I don't really know. I'll post things in my Discord, Facebook, on the Keyforge Facebook and Discord chats. It'll be on Twitter. Thanks again for everyone who has been watching the stream. Thanks for everyone who listened to the podcast. Thanks for everyone who just tunes in and likes getting some Keyforge content. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be right back if I get Dave. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.